This was like second day. I'm fresh, like la la la, skipping through the street. There's like these two old men, and I'm walking down the sidewalk, and they're going like towards me like this, right? He looks at me with this ugly face, and I'm just like, I wonder if he's like actually looking at me. He can't be looking at me. And then all of a sudden, he just stops. He goes and spits on my like the longest loogie hawk, and spits on my shirt. And I was so confused. I was like, there ain't no way. No, it can't. Maybe he was aiming for something else. I replayed that in my head like 50 times. I'm still standing there, right? They're gone. I'm just still standing there in shock. Like, there ain't no way he just spat on me. He spat on me.
韓国と日本。これらアジアの二大強国は、常に何百万人もの人々にとって夢の目的地であり続けています。しかし、なぜこれほど多くの外国人が、道半ばのコリアンドリームを放棄し、桜の国へと逃れる決断を下すのでしょうか。皆様、お帰りなさい。本日は、かつて韓国に住んでいた外国人の方々を対象に、彼らが日本へ移住した理由について尋ねた街頭インタビューをお届けします。過酷なカルチャーショックや目に見えない息苦しい重圧から、自由を取り戻し魂を癒す旅に至るまで。当事者たちの最もリアルな視点を通して、その真実を暴いていきましょう。それでは早速始めます。
I'm out in Tokyo, Japan. Japan and Korea are similar, but also different in many ways. While Japan is slow-paced, South Korea, on the other hand, is very fast-paced. So I sat down with different foreigners from different countries to ask them, why did you choose Japan over Korea? Here's what they had to say. Where are you from?
California.
How long have you been living in Japan?
I've been in Japan for 9.5 years, going on 10.
You lived in Korea, right?
I was only there for a year.
France.
How long have you been living in Korea?
Almost 3 years.
So I'm from Florida in the States. So I moved to Korea in 2019, just before the pandemic.
And when did you move to Japan?
I moved a month ago.
I'm from the Philippines, but I grew up in the Middle East.
How long have you been living in Japan for?
I've been living for about almost a year now. I recently moved from Korea.
How long did you live in Korea for?
I lived in Korea for 7 years.
How long did you live in Korea for?
Around 2 years, a little bit less, I think.
How long are you going to be in Japan for?
So I came to Japan this year. My visa in Japan is 2 years, but I'm not sure how long I will stay.
I'm from France.
How long have you been living in Japan?
It's more than 1 year.
一連のインタビューの口火を切るのは、カリフォルニア出身の女性による痛切な告白です。彼女は輝かしいモデルとしてのキャリアを持ち、語学機関でディレクターを務めていたにもかかわらず、あまりにも過酷な人種差別を理由に韓国から逃れざるを得ませんでした。その最たる例が、到着してわずか2日目に唾を吐きかけられたという事件です。幸いなことに、日本に移住して10年近く経ちますが、彼女は差別の被害に遭うこともなく、非常に安全だと感じています。国を離れるという決断は、まさに素晴らしい解放の転機となったのです。
What was the biggest reason that made you leave Korea to Japan?
Ooh, I had to go. I would have stayed longer because, let me tell you, I had a bomb apartment. I was making buku dollars. I was making so much money. And like I was really in with the CEO. I was the director of an entire SEL like language institutions, face plastered all over the dang country. Y'all, the racism, I had to go. It was so bad that I had to go. Like I'm like a gentle soul and I just couldn't take it. I kid you not, like my second day there, I got spat on. Yeah.
Why would anybody do that?
This was like second day. I'm fresh, like la la la, skipping through the street. There's like these two old men, and I'm walking down the sidewalk, and they're going like towards me like this, right? He looks at me with this ugly face, and I'm just like, I wonder if he's like actually looking at me. He can't be looking at me. And then all of a sudden, he just stops. He goes and spits on my like the longest loogie hawk, and spits on my shirt. And I was so confused. I was like, there ain't no way. No, it can't. Maybe he was aiming for something else. I replayed that in my head like 50 times. I'm still standing there, right? They're gone. I'm just still standing there in shock. Like, there ain't no way he just spat on me. He spat on me.
I am so sorry that you had to go through that. And it was a major yellow gunk, I guess.
Yeah, it was just nasty. I was like, there's no way.
Your second day in Korea.
Second day. And it's just stuff like that the entire year. And I'm like, maybe it's this area. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's there. So I had to go.
So how would you compare that to Japan right now?
I have actually never had any racial issues whatsoever in Japan, and I've been here 9.5 years, and I mean not one incident. The worse it gets is you go on the train and they call it the gaijin seat. Okay, whatever. Somebody doesn't want to sit next to you. And I think that really applies to the foreigners who are gigantic. You're taking up too much space so they can't sit there. You sit with your legs wide open. It's probably you. You stank. A lot of them sweating, backpacks. They probably don't want to sit next to you for an entirely different reason.
続いて、韓国に3年、日本に1年滞在したフランス人男性が、生活のペースについて深い洞察を提供してくれました。彼は、韓国でのせわしなさ、競争の重圧、そして服装から思考に至るまで周囲と同調しなければならないという文化に息苦しさを感じていました。対照的に、日本は彼にゆったりとした生活のペースをもたらし、思いやりが重んじられ、とりわけ他人の評価を恐れることなく、個々が独自のスタイルを表現できる自由な空間を提供してくれました。自由な魂が自分らしく生きるための完璧な環境と言えるでしょう。
After 3 years of living in Korea, I'm getting a little bit tired of the pali-pali, and I think I'm now in part of my life where I would like to settle down more a little bit and go with something smoother. So Japan has more this kind of chill vibes that I'm looking for now.
You talked about like Japan actually having like that more chill vibe. Can you elaborate like more on that?
Yeah, so I feel in Korea everything has to be efficient and everything has to be done fast and has to be done like as efficient as possible. While in Japan, I think things has to be well made, even if it's taking more time. That's why the time for building up a house, it's longer in Japan than Korea. It's just an example. The cake and everything is making longer time to process. That's also what I'm currently looking for now. Something more chill and taking time to taking the time to do things like in France. In France, we're taking the time to enjoy the moment. You know, we're having 2 hours lunch. I like that in Japan, I feel have more space to express ourselves. In Korean culture, because of the Confucianism, we have to think as a society and not as individual. So it's still the same in Japan, but it's a little bit less pronounced as in Korea. So in Korea, you have to fit with the team, you have to fit with the group. To be well accepted in Korea, I feel from my experience that I have to fit with Korean criteria. Even though I'm a foreigner, I have a little bit more privileged than Korean, obviously. But still I have to fit with the way to act, with the way to think, with what I'm saying, with my opinions and everything. While in Japan, I feel, for example, about the clothing. In Korea, everyone dressed almost the same. They're having big trends. You're having like 5 big trends and everyone is following one of these trends. And sometimes it's switching, then everyone will switch. We can see like when they're having the North Face, for example, everyone is wearing the North Face. When they're having the boots, everyone is wearing the boots. While in Japan, you can be like dressed full in pink with like almost naked and everything. It's not gonna be weird. It's gonna be perfectly fine. So I feel in Japan, even though maybe everyone's gonna still judge you and still think bad stuff about you, they're not gonna express and they're gonna let you live your life. So I feel a little bit more free also to express myself in Japan than Korea.
インタビューは続き、フロリダ出身の女性が心身の健康の壁について打ち明けてくれました。韓国の劣悪な空気の質のせいで彼女は絶えず気管支炎を患い、さらに年齢の上下関係や厳格な警護システムから来る目に見えない重圧が加わり、彼女は完全に疲弊しきっていました。日本へ移住して以来、澄んだ空気が彼女に前向きな生活のエネルギーを取り戻させ、また、上下関係の構造が職場だけに限定されているおかげで、日常生活に安らぎを見出すことができました。心身ともに完全に癒される安住の地を見つけられたことは、本当に素晴らしいことです。
I think the biggest reason, it might not be something people can really relate to, but it was actually my health. In Korea, I would actually get sick really often. Like for example, in 2024, I got bronchitis 3 times. It's when you have an infection in your lungs. It's mostly from like the air quality, you know, bad air quality, especially just like in the train, sometimes it's not that clean, or like the fine dust and the yellow dust and all of that. Like after living there for so many years, I started noticing that I was getting sick a lot. So when I came to Japan for like short trips, I noticed that the air just felt cleaner and like I don't get sick as often. I felt like I had more energy, you know, because in Korea I was like really lethargic. And so that was definitely a pretty big reason, because I didn't want to have to keep living there and feeling worse and worse and like just trying to resolve it by buying medicine or getting an air purifier or wearing a mask all the time. I was like, no, like I should have just like a better quality of life in general. There's a couple things, but I think the number one might be like the social hierarchy thing. because Japan has it as well, but I think in Korea it's more strict. Like, you know, if someone's older than you, like the way you have to address them and you have to use respectful language and stuff like that. I don't mind doing that, but I think constantly having to think about that every time you interact with someone, especially because you can offend someone, you know, if you don't do it correctly, like it was just a bit like overwhelming sometimes. And in Japan they have it, but I think it's mostly like in the workplace or like maybe at school. So like as a foreigner, it doesn't like affect me as much, but in Korea it applies like across the board, you know. I'm American, so like Americans, we're all like equal. We believe that we're all on the same level. Like it doesn't matter if you're my boss, you know, or you're younger than me. Like we like to have mutual respect for each other. And I think like in my core, that's what I believe in.
一方で、ネガティブな経験を持たない若者たち、例えば卒業したばかりの女性やビザが切れたばかりのドイツ人男性などは、日本への移住を大きな海へ漕ぎ出す絶好の機会と捉えています。彼らは、桜の国がより広大で、国際性が高く、学ぶべき非常に多様な文化を持っていることに気づいたのです。機会があればすぐに行動を起こすことは、情熱にあふれた若者らしい実に賢明な選択です。
So, one of the biggest reasons is that I was post-grad, so I was like, what do I want to do? I don't want to do 취직 just yet. I was kind of scared, and I always had Japan in the back of my mind. It was a country that I always wanted to see and wonder what it was like. And I feel like post-grad, it was the most easiest kind of way out for me. And it also helps that like I knew people here and I also have my boyfriend here, so.
Other than that, like what was like a major factor that made you, okay, like Korea is just good for me like after post-grad?
Well, I was thinking about my options for jobs, and I definitely did have options in Korea, but then I always had like a passion for like language learning, and like Japanese was something that I always wanted to learn, and I always had an interest in Japanese culture as much as I had an interest in Korean culture. And I feel like if I were to find a job in Korea and I decided that I really wanted to move to Japan, it'd be really difficult for me in terms of like how am I gonna be able to pack up my life here in Korea. And I really just tried to jump at the opportunity, to be honest.
Mostly the reason that I left for Japan is that I also want to see another culture. I kind of want to see a lot of countries, especially in Asia. Sooner or later, I just wanted to see Japanese culture, get to know the Japanese culture. Since also this year my visa ended once again in Korea, I thought, okay, you know what, let's do Japan now. Japan is a bigger country, so you can travel more, so you can experience more. More people, like Japan has more people and is a bigger country, so basically you can experience more. So if you want to make a lot of experience and see a lot of places and meet a lot of different people, because also Japan is more international, more foreigners, you can meet more different types of people. So if you're that type of person, then I would recommend Japan.
別の男性も韓国と日本での異なる生活体験を共有してくれました。偽善と重圧、そして自己を証明するための競争に満ちた韓国での生活とは対照的に、日本は彼に自由で快適、かつ十分なプライベート空間という異なる体験をもたらし、周囲の人々に煩わされることなくありのままの自分でいられると感じさせました。まさに、すべての人が尊重される自由の楽園です。
At the beginning, I think the main reason is because I speak a bit of Japanese, so it's easier to like meet people and find my place here. But also I had like kind of different feeling from the locals when I was in Korea compared to Japan. I felt like it was kind of not natural meetings. I don't know what to explain, but yeah, the feeling of natural interaction were not the same. I think that there is a really strong like social pressure compared to Japan, where I think in Japan, for 1 year living here, I feel like if you are kind of outside of like going on society and everyday life, it's okay since everyone is just on his own like little world. But I feel like in Korea there is like this overall pressure of competition and like proving that you are worth it. While in Japan it's like you can manage your own business since you are not annoying anyone else. So that's like the kind of aspect I preferred over the Korean way of life.
次の質問です。メディアやエンターテインメントはあなたの日本移住の決断に影響を与えましたか？再びカリフォルニアの女性に話を戻すと、彼女はメディアに魅了されて日本に来たわけではないと断言しました。 基本的に彼女は韓国のメディアエンターテインメント業界でかなり成功したキャリアを築いていましたが、それでも国を離れて日本へ向かう決断を下しました。当初、日本には1年間だけ滞在する予定でしたが、現在では10年近くが経過し、彼女にはまだ日本を離れて韓国に戻る意思はありません。
Did the media or entertainment influence your decision to move to Japan?
Not at all, actually. Matter of fact, this was a huge hit to my industry career. Because before this, y'all, I was a model and all kind of stuff, and I was in my contract when I left, and I told my management team, hey, I'm just gonna be gone a year and I'll be right back. Year passed by, and they're like, girl, I was like, just one more year, I gotta go to Japan now. They're like, okay. I never came back. And I was prime too. America's Next Top Model, MTV Made, MTV Catfish, Vogue, I just got Coca-Cola. I was doing all kind of stuff, y'all. And I was like, okay, time to go.
最初のフランス人男性はテレビドラマに惹かれて韓国へ移住したものの、その国に失望し、その後、生活と仕事の拠点を日本に移したことを率直に認めました。当初は、ここでの生活のペースに慣れず少し失望したこともありましたが、体験と探索を重ねた結果、日本の方が自分に適した国であると気づいたのです。
No, it's really coming from my personal experience. That's why I first moved to Korea. I will say because of the K-drama. So I'm very into movie. So I watched a lot of Korean movies and I wanted to know more about the culture, about the language, about the people. That's why first I moved to Korea. And then I tried with Japan. At the beginning I got a little bit disappointed because Japan wasn't fast enough. Then I changed, I evolved, and I think now I'm fitting more with Japan than Korea at that point. So I got influenced by the media for Korea, but not that much for Japan. I more discovered Japan by my own.
その一方で、2人の女性は日本のアニメと音楽のファンであることを認めました。それが彼女たちがこの国を愛するようになった理由の一つであり、体験と探求のために日本を訪れるという夢を常に抱き続けてきたのです。
So I've been interested in both countries since I was young, so I think I've kind of never got influenced one over the other. When I was growing up, I liked anime, manga, Japanese music, and then of course I got into K-pop and K-dramas, so they've always been kind of equal in my mind, so media never really influenced me. It's definitely just been personal experience. But I can see these days, the way that people market stuff on TikTok and everything, that could be a huge, reason why someone would move here, of course. But I kind of already knew about Japan way before that. So
for me, I was always into anime when I was growing up. And I recently got into Japanese fashion and music, so it was always an inspiration to me, even when I was living in Korea. And I remember in Korea, I would always go find the anime pop-up exhibitions too. So I feel moving here it would be more fun to go to and see and stuff.
インタビューを通じて芸術文化の深さにおける違いも映画を愛する男性の言葉によって明確に浮き彫りになりました。最初はテレビドラマが好きで韓国を訪れた彼ですが、やがて日本こそが100年にわたる非常に豊かで先駆的な歴史を持つ映画産業の真の摇籃であることに気づきました。さらに、アニメーションや漫画を専門とする画家であり、芸術分野で働く人間にとって、ここは彼が情熱を最大限に追求できる、まさに偉大なる約束の地なのです。
Actually, yes. There's one reason why I really wanted to live a certain time in Japan, and it's the Japanese movies, because I'm really movies and cinema is my passion, and it's also the field where I'm working at and where I want to work. In the future, I want to work in both countries, Korea and Japan, in the film industry. And the film industry in Japan is not only the biggest, but also I would say the best in the world, actually. Even more various than American cinema. And ironically, I love Korean movies. Japanese movie history is not so long because of Japan. Japan occupied Korea. Maybe if Japan didn't do that, then Korea had a bigger movie history. Because of Japan, Korean movie history is not that big. It goes only back to the 80s, 90s. But Japanese movie history is 100 years. Every decade they are doing avant-garde filmmaking. That's what I love about Japan. That's why I'm here. So that's what I'm gonna explore. That's what I'm gonna get into while I'm in Japan.
Kind of, since my work is being animator and manga artist, is Japan is overall the best place to be in the world. So yeah.
続いて、エンターテインメントの質と体験型アクティビティにおける格差について、さらに詳細な分析が行われました。2人のアメリカ人女性は、韓国でのアクティビティは結局のところショッピング、食事、そしてチェックインスポットでの写真撮影に終始しており、 かなり退屈であると率直に指摘しました。対照的に、日本は壮大なスキーリゾート、起伏に富んだ大自然、そして季節ごとに絶えず変化する無数の興味深いインタラクティブなイベントなど、果てしない探求の世界を切り開いてくれます。誰もが夢中になって探求したくなるほど、豊かで多様な体験が集結する国なのです。
What's something that Japan offers and that Korea doesn't?
Diversity in their cities. Korea's pretty boring. Other than like Seoul, that's all y'all got. Like there's Seoul and what is it? That little island, Jeju Island, and there's not much history around there. There's not many for very good reason, not their fault at all. But there isn't much to see in Korea. Like it's pretty much shop, eat, and in very small areas, and that's pretty much it. Japan, I mean, it is so diverse, and you can go to so many different areas. We got snowboarding, mountains, even a desert out here somewhere. You know, it's just a lot more to do and see.
I think Japan just has more like activities, like more things to do. I don't know if that makes sense. In Korea, a lot of like the activities that people do, a lot of it is like taking photos. Like if you go to a pop-up store, there's a photo zone, right? And there's all these like photo studio booths and stuff like that, which are cool, but I like things that are more like active, you know, and Japan has so many like interactive experiences, I think. Also, there's a lot of seasonal menus, like different restaurants and like fast food places, like they change their menu like every month or so, so it keeps things interesting, I guess.
フランス人男性も上記の意見に同意しました。彼によれば、日本の方がより自由な国であり、より多くの伝統的な文化価値を保存している国だからです。
I feel a little bit more free in Japan, a little bit more culture as well, so that could be explained also because Korea just have been bombed and colonized a lot, so all the historical culture have been destroyed in Korea. That's why we're having less than in Japan, for example.
映像の最後を締めくくるのは、異国でのキャリア機会に関する非常に現実的かつ明るい視点です。巨大な経済規模と日本における国際企業の強力なプレゼンスのおかげで、外国人たちは日本で就労の機会や理想的な職場環境を容易に見つけることができました。このことは、彼らが束縛的な伝統的企業文化の重圧から完全に脱却し、自由に自己成長を遂げる助けとなっています。日本はまさに、キャリアの道で自己を確立したいと熱望するグローバル市民にとって完璧な約束の地なのです。
How would you compare both working cultures, Korea and Japan?
Okay, my job's kind of an exception. So I work for a company that's like a Western company. So I think the business environment is kind of different. Yeah, if I worked for a Japanese company, I'd probably have a similar situation to Korea. Yeah, so all my coworkers are just other foreigners. All of our clients officially speak English to us. We do have to, well, this isn't my work outfit, but we have to wear formal business attire, but we don't have all of that the office sort of hierarchy things.
Like I said before, I think a lot more job opportunities. It's a much bigger country, so of course there's more industry, and even though Japanese people don't speak English, there is more opportunities for foreigners because there are so many more foreigners than in Korea. I think that's an advantage that you don't have in Korea.
どの国にもそれぞれ独自の文化の色彩がありますが、動画に登場した人々にとって、日本は自由、平穏、そして幅広い機会をもたらしてくれる素晴らしい約束の地に他なりません。皆様は、これら2国間の生活環境の違いについてどう思われますか？ぜひコメント欄に感想を書き込んでシェアしてください。私から皆様のすべてのコメントに返信させていただきます。この動画が面白いと思ったら、高評価とチャンネル登録で私たちの応援をよろしくお願いいたします。最後までご視聴いただき誠にありがとうございました。それでは、また次回の動画でお会いしましょう。